Well, hey, and welcome back to another Morning Jumpstart. We are in our series called Planted for Purpose. So if you are new here, I just want to invite you to go check out the videos that have already been released for week 1. So check those out so that you can get caught up and continue on this process with us. But today I'm going to be talking about self-sabotage and really where these things come up for your life, how to know really even what it is, and identifying where it's coming up for you. So we're talking about all of that coming up next. So stay tuned. Okay, so self-sabotage. What is it and how do you know if it is happening to you? Let's talk about it. Self-sabotage really can be considered basically, you would describe it as something getting in your own way, something causing you to get in your own way. That's what self-sabotage is. It's a behavior that really creates problems in your life and interferes with the progress that you're making. And normally, the only thing that it can point back to is something that you are doing or not doing. So this is self-sabotage. When things really start to go right in your life is when you'll notice this is coming up. And so old patterns, old ways of thinking, limiting beliefs that you hold, these are all things that show up to really hinder your progress and keep you from continuing down the path of success that you're on and that you want to go on. So that's really regardless of the potential good that you might experience at the end of what it is that you're doing, and what good that might bring into your life. Really, that doesn't matter, because at its root, self-sabotage is really the lies of the enemy. Simply put, it's the lies of the enemy. You have two things. You have the truth and you have the lies. And when it comes to self-sabotage, that normally means that we are believing in lies. And that's causing us to have these behaviors or these mindsets that are preventing us from that positive thing that we want to see in our life. So things like comparison is one that comes to mind. And this begins to show up in your life, causing you to lose focus on your individuality, on the things that make you unique, and start to compare to the process of someone else, the way that they're doing things, the way that they look, their appearance, just the success that they're having. And then you begin to mimic them and just basically forsake who you are and adopt this new personality in a way. So comparison, we've all been guilty of doing that. But I tell you what, there is something that's so special about you that, man, there is no comparing to. So anyway, that's one thing. Another thing is that you may find yourself hearing these whispers of worrying about what people are going to say, what people are thinking about you, worrying about what the naysayers are going to get in the comments and talk about, or what they're going to be saying behind your back, and sometimes even to your face. A naysayer isn't always necessarily a bad person or someone with bad intentions, right? Sometimes it is a well-meaning person that loves you, that doesn't see what you see, and you can label them as a naysayer. So those are a few other things that that you might find when it comes to self-sabotage. Because again, a lot of this is a mindset. It's things that you're thinking could happen. And again, whispers of worry. So we're all guilty of allowing self-sabotage in one way or another to affect us in our life. And these behaviors can really influence us. They really can. The trick is really to know how to identify where it's coming up for you in your life and having that awareness so that you are able to make a better choice, that you can choose something different. So, by gathering the information that you need in order to identify it, it really helps you to recognize again where it is showing up for your life, exactly when it comes up. What is the surrounding things that is causing this to surface in your life and really prevent the takeover, preventing that old pattern, that old cycle, that old mindset to take over and cause you to self-sabotage. So it's creating basically this reset button in your life that you can press at any time and again make that choice, make a different choice. So when you're able to identify the thoughts or the behavior that is causing you to self-sabotage, then you can basically redirect your focus, redirect your attention in a different way. So this is at its root really replacing the lies that you're hearing in your mind with the truth that God says about you, with the truth that is in the Word of God. So replacing the lies with the truth. And it's allowing you to take your focus off of the negative things and placing your focus on taking right action. And that even when you feel uncomfortable, which is what I've noticed a lot of times it comes up for me is when there's something that is going to take me outside of that comfort zone that I have created for myself. So that's even when it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it definitely isn't going to be comfortable. So that's a couple of things. Going back to even what they might be thinking, like we said, what they think, what they'll say, what it's going to look like, what it's not going to look like. These are all things that come up. And I want to invite you to consider how God is bigger than all of that stuff. He's so much bigger, and his plans for you and his purposes for your life are bigger and better than what you can even think or imagine. So he recognizes the potential that is within you because, well, he placed it there, right? And when he places something in your hands, when these seeds that he has entrusted to you have been placed in your hands, it's for you to care for, like we talked about. Which again, if you have missed that, I want to invite you to make sure that you go back and watch where we talked about planting the seeds and the things that are in your hands that God's entrusting to you. So growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. We know this. The comfort zone is actually created by going outside of the comfort zone. So you create a new comfort zone by trying new things, right? We've all been there. We've all had to do something new at some place in our life. And we've created and developed a comfort level with that thing that there's a point where God has to push us outside of this beautiful comfort zone that we've created now and into a new thing. So it's time to really up your faith in this season and really go into a place of action, taking right action. And you'll see the growth that is going to happen in your life. It's going to be so incredible. It's going to be so beautiful. And I can't wait to hear about the processes that you are going through and the place that you find yourself by the end of this. It's really going to be exciting. But self-sabotage is something that we all do, that we're all guilty of. And I'm going to give you some tools right now that you can use in order to identify where it's coming up. So that's step number one, is really to identify when and where self-sabotage is surfacing for you. And really, I would like it to be specifically when it comes to the goal that you have for yourself in this season, in this time. and evaluate what steps that you can take in order to keep yourself from numbing out and self-sabotaging in this specific area. So we're really focusing on taking right action here. And let me give you an example of something that could be self-sabotage. If you have set out that you want to write a chapter in a book that you have on your heart, right? This is an example that I want to use here. You will find that when you sit in front of a laptop and you're ready to type some things together and put some thoughts on paper, and when you sit down to do it, you're looking at that blank screen and it's not coming to you, right? There's nothing coming to your mind. And so you think, well, okay, let me go ahead and I'm just going to get up and I'm going to go out for a walk. I just need some fresh air right now. Sometimes that's helpful, but for the most part, that is just an area of self-sabotage that could potentially be keeping you from writing that book, right? So identifying that, hey, when I am in this scenario, I'm noticing that this is coming up for me, and it's causing me to go in a different direction completely that has nothing to do with what I've set out to do. And it's causing me to numb out. It's causing me to keep from doing that thing. And so once you've identified where it's coming up for you, then you can make a different choice. You can actually make an action plan that will help you to stay in that place and write that chapter out, right? So it's having that action plan to take the right steps, to take the right actions in order to see the result that you are coming here to accomplish. So that's just an example. I want to invite you to take those steps, identify where and when it's coming up for you, and evaluate what steps that you're going to take in order to create a reset button that you can press and you can make that different choice. So that's what I had for you today. I hope that this was really helpful and encouraging. If it was, I want to invite you to make sure that you click that like video so that this message goes out to more people. And if you are watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe so that you'll get notified whenever I drop new released videos. But that's what I had for you today. We will chat again in the next video.